I don't know if it's just because I live in Arizona and grew up in the Arizona school system, but I feel like I speak a lot of Spanglish. A lot. So I'm sorry if that, no, I'm not sorry. Today we're going to be playing with a new-ish palette, and that is the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette, and that's actually the entire collection. I am wearing this palette for an entire week. For this particular week, we're doing 3 looks, and it includes a more creative look, a more dramatic look, and then a more wearable everyday look. I wanted to do multiple looks in different styles so that you could see how the colors played together, so I could see how the colors played together, so that I could give you a true idea of what I think of this collection, instead of just doing a first impression, first wear, first look kind of thing like I've done in the past. This collection includes the newest Naked palette, which is all juicy pinks, reds, purple toned colors, only a couple of real brown neutrally shades, which is kind of refreshing. The Naked palettes have always been neutral, all brown, silvers, black, white. They've all been very muted, so to speak, because, you know, it's a Naked look. I think at this point, Naked is just a brand and just like a collection for Urban Decay and doesn't really have any meaning anymore, but there's that. It also includes 3 lipsticks, 2 eyeliners, a setting spray, and a blush palette. I wanted to use everything all over the place, so we're going to be showing you 3 different looks with all of these products, and I hope they enjoy. Okay, so it is day 1 of my Naked Cherry adventure. This is the first time that I've opened up the palette and looked at any of these products in person. It's a little bit stronger on one side than the others. Let me fix that after I just talked for like 5 minutes. So this is the first look. First impressions are that everything is pretty much on par with the Urban Decay Naked palette quality. If you've used a Naked palette before, you know what to expect. It's just a matter of changing the colors. I do like that these are just the pinks and the purpley pink colors, the reds, and it's just fun. It's something a little bit different. I also used the setting spray, and it smells actually really good. A lot of the times I'm iffy when it comes to scents in makeup just because I don't know if I want it on my face. I'm okay with this look. It's not anything overly ambitious, anything crazy. I wanted to do something that just really focused on blending, seeing how the colors blended, and they all blend really nicely. It's interesting doing looks like this to me because you really see how many colors it takes to just get what looks like one color fading out. And my voice is like going, I don't know what's going on with that. So there's the first look. The first color I'm using here is Caution, and this is just to be just a little bit of a transitioning color. And then I'm going to use Feels and just go over that a little bit more. This whole look is all about blending, so that's really what we're focusing on. Next, I'm taking Bing to add a little bit more of the red juiciness to this look. And then I'm using Hotspot on the brow bone and then just blending out the crease colors. And then this next part is really just making sure that everything is nice and blended. So I'm using a brush that doesn't have any extra color on it, or maybe just a little bit of one color. That one looks like it has more of Bing on it, just to make everything look nice and blended and pretty. For the lid of this look, I'm using Turn On, which is pretty shimmery. Packed that on so it was nice and even, and then I'm just going back into the crease with Devilish just to add a little bit more definition there. For the lower lash line, we're basically doing exactly the same thing. I'm applying Bing, Devilish, blending those out so that I get the pigmentation that I'm looking for and making sure that everything is just nice, soft, blended goodness. I'm taking a little bit more of Hotspot. I really like the way this color looks, and it's just going a little bit onto the brow bone as well as the blush from the highlight palette. And then I'm taking Privacy on the lash line just to add a little bit of smokiness. I applied my mascara, and then I'm applying Juicy lipstick onto the lips and then using Cherry lipstick in the outer corners to kind of have an ombre effect. I should have blended this a little bit more though, I will say that, but there's the finished look. Hey guys, this is the second look that I am doing with the Naked Cherry palette. Basically, kind of went into this wanting to do something that's a little bit darker. Since the first look I did was a lot lighter, I think, I really wanted to kind of focus on the deeper colors here because there's some really beautiful, juicy reds and purples. I wanted to do kind of like a soft smoky eye, which is what I came up with. I'm really happy with how this turned out because a lot of the times when I do smoky eyes, the blend just is, it's not what I want. And this one actually did what I wanted, which was I wanted it just to blend into nothing and not feel like there was a really stark line or anything in the crease, which I feel like is one of my downfalls when I'm trying to do a nice like gradient smoky eye. So I was actually really pleased with this. So the first thing that I did was I took the Love Drug 24/7 Glide On eye pencil and put that on my lids pretty much up to my crease, and then just used a brush, a concealer brush I believe, just to blend it out so that everything was really soft. Then I took Bing. I was debating between Bing and Devilish. I ended up choosing Bing, which is a lot lighter than Devilish and a lot more pink. Put that on top of it, just basically pressed it down all over the Love Drug eye pencil. And then I took Feels and used a blending brush and used that into the crease. So that was sort of the color I used as my transitioning shade to soften up Bing and to just really blend it out into nothingness, which was what I really wanted to do. I used a little bit of caution in the kind of lower brow bone area just to kind of increase that blend, and then used Hot Spot as my brow bone highlight. I really like that color because it's almost got like just a tint, just like a tiny tint of a vibrant pink in it. It's really unique and it has nice color payoff too. I also kind of use that as my eraser, any areas that were a little bit chunky, what didn't blend as nicely as I wanted. Then I used a tiny bit of Devilish in the outer corners, not very much, and then basically repeated all of this on the lower lash line. I used Love Drug, blended it out, applied Bing, used Feels around the edges. That was it for the palette. I also used Black Market eye pencil on the lower lash line, applied my mascara, and then that was pretty much it for the Naked Cherry palette and all the Naked Cherry stuff. I did decide that I wanted to bump it up a little bit, so I ended up using a Stila Glitter and Glow, I can never remember what it is. What are you? Glitter and Glow in Perlina, and just applied just a little bit on top, as well as I took my Anastasia Dream palette and used Unicorn, just because it's a little bit like a very vibrant glittery shade. Popped that on, and I know there's other colors in this, but I just wanted something duochrome-y, you guys know. For my lips, I'm wearing Devilish all over the lips, and then I put just a little bit of Cherry onto the dead center on the top and the bottom to give just a little bit of different dimension than what I did yesterday, which was applying Cherry in the outer corners. Then, because I wanted glossiness, I took my Fenty Beauty Diamond Milk. I love this so much. I really love the Fenty glosses, they're so nice. And that just makes it look just wet glossiness, which I love. So I'm really happy with this look. I think it's fun. It's not nearly as dark as it could be, but it's still something. Also, because I'm sure it's going to be asked, I don't like using lashes as a crutch, because lashes can make any eyeshadow look good. They can make no eyeshadow. You just pop lashes on and it looks amazing. So really, maybe I'll do lashes tomorrow, but I don't really want to have lashes be the default because I want to just show the eyeshadow. So see you tomorrow. Hello guys, for this final look, I wanted to do something that was a bit more toned down. I feel like sometimes when I think of doing multiple looks with a palette, I need to do crazy, when the average person is just gonna do something that is, you know, a little bit more toned down just for regular wear. Okay, I'm cutting that intro short because I literally would not stop talking. The first color I'm using here is Juicy into the crease, blending it so it's nice and soft, and then using a little bit of Hot Spot just to make everything even more soft and just easygoing for this look. The lid color is Turn On, so I'm applying that all over the lid, and then in the outer corners of the lid I'm using Ambitious so that we have a little bit more of a gradient going on than the first look that we did. I'm blending out with a little bit of Devilish in the crease and in the outer corner, just a tiny bit, keep things nice and soft. And then I'm going to take Privacy and apply that to the lower lash line and just blend it out a little bit, looking real cute while I do it. The key to this look is blending to have everything be nice and light. So that's something that I'm really paying attention to, adding any more color that I might need, taking away anything I don't need. I think I'm adding a little bit of Devilish here just to make it a little bit darker. I'm taking Love Drug eye pencil and applying it to the waterline, and then for my lips I'm putting Juicy lipstick on. And that is pretty much the extent of this look. Very similar to the first one I realized afterwards, which is why I'm including another look, bonus look after this one. Good morning, hello. Okay, so I am editing this video right now. I'm actually in New York. I was playing around with the Naked palette and wanting to include one more look to show you guys. This one is a little bit different. I wanted to do one more look just because I realized that the last look that I did was a little bit similar. It was like a lighter version, but the same kind of style as the first look I did. So I wanted to put in an extra one. I don't have a tutorial for this one, but I still wanted to show. I will tell you, let me grab the palette really quick so I can tell you what I used. The whole point of this look, I wanted to use Bang Bang because I feel like that was the main one I haven't really played with. So on the lids is Bang Bang, Feels and Juicy are both in the crease, mostly Feels. A little bit of Caution in the upper brow bone. Hot Spot is like my favorite new highlight. I've been using it all the time. And then in the crease too, we have Bing and Devilish. And then in the outer corner is Young Love. I'm gonna be honest, this is a Naked palette, right? Like, so that's important to keep in mind, even for me, because I definitely wasn't. And so I was using Blossom palette from Ace Beauty. In the outer corners of my look, I used a lot of this one, which is Lust. Very similar in color to Bing in the, this one, Bing. But it's just, or actually Devilish it's close to, but it's just a lot more vibrant. So it packed on the color a lot more than the Naked palette was doing on its own, because I just wanted something a little bit more vibrant. And the Naked palette is a Naked palette. It's not meant to. Oh, I also, in the inner part of my look, I used Peony right there. So metallic. And I used a little bit of Perlina Stila right there. Lashes for the first time in forever, and they're way bigger than I planned. At this point, I have to go. So I just wanted to do this little update, show you. And that's about it. All right, so that is it for my week with the Urban Decay and Naked Cherry palette. I am surprised at how much more I liked this palette than I originally thought that I was going to. When I saw that it was launching, I definitely thought like, all right, well, here's another Naked palette. It's definitely neat to see a real color story from Urban Decay. Because a lot of the times I feel Urban Decay kind of is a little bit all over the place with their color stories, and this one is really refreshing to see something, these types of colors, these reds, pinks, purples that are sometimes neglected, get their own starring palette. So of course this is something that if you like those tones, then you're going to pay attention. If you don't like those and you could never see yourself wearing more red, pink kind of colors like that, obviously this is not for you. It's interesting to hear me say this out loud because all year I've been going on about warm neutral brown, and this is the warmest palette ever because it's actual color. It's not just browns, and I know brown's a color, but you know. I hope that you enjoyed this style video, having a couple different looks to get an idea of how everything plays together. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We'd love to have you in the xSparkage familia. And make sure to give this a thumbs up. I don't want to show you my thumb because I cut it really badly, but make sure you give this a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.